Welcome, everyone, to episode 38 of, I almost said the full nerd. No, this is Dual Boot Diaries, a weekly podcast where two longtime Windows users learn to use desktop Linux daily. I'm one of your hosts, Adam Patrick Murray.
I'm your other host, Will Smith, and we are not Linux experts. Although we're getting there.
Nope.
We're getting there.
No, we're not.
Some of us are.
You keep saying that. We're not.
I think we're getting there.
Nope.
I feel like more of an expert than I was when we started this. Like, I'm right in the Dunning-Kruger curve where I'm like, man, I know so much about Linux, and then I hit a real problem. I don't. Anyway, the point is, we're sharing our experiences here, and then at the end of this journey, something's going to happen. Adam's going to type rm-rf* in his terminal and see what happens, just to see.
Yeah.
We might load up that.
I really do want to see.
We might load up that version of Doom that works as a file browser and just start deleting files at random. That would be fun. We might delete our Windows partitions. It's impossible to say.
Impossible. But this is episode 38 of this journey so far, and we got
a long road.
Yeah, there was a little bit of news. I almost brought it up.
Oh, you got news?
Yeah.
What's the news?
I mean, there was a couple, like
that Phoronix thing.
Listen, I'm not trying to actually look into scene drama or anything like that.
Oh boy!
But there was something that popped up in Fedora. I don't have the news in front of me because I was like, I'm not going to talk about it, but now I'm talking about it.
Yeah, good job.
There was this petition to put AI into Fedora or something, AI tools, and the board of councils members all agreed to it, and then everyone got mad, and then a couple council members disagreed
rescinded
to
their
it.
vote.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just like, whatever.
There's a bit in Lebowski where the dude describes working on some sort of revolutionary committee, but not the version everybody knows, the original ones that weren't sellouts. And there's a lot of that vibe in the open source community. I
mean, I learned there's a council member.
Yeah.
Faction of Fedora. Yeah. I was just imagining Lord of the Rings, the meeting where the 11
Elrond's
get together.
There. Yeah, it's a bunch of graybeards and a guy that looks like the bad guy from the Matrix movies.
Yeah,
it's weird.
I don't know. It was weird. I guess I still think of Fedora not like canonical, like Ubuntu. Like, I just think it's just a bunch of corporate suits, kind of like Microsoft up in Redmond or something like that.
It's basically Microsoft 2.0.
Yeah. But Fedora, I don't know. I just thought it was...
You think they're keeping it
I didn't
real
think they
down
had a council.
in the Red Hat zone?
I don't know. Well, see, Red Hat I know is enterprise.
Yeah, I know.
So there's a lot of ties over there. But Fedora is supposed to be the cool
I don't
place.
think anybody wears ties anymore. I think it's all Dockers and golf
they're
shirts.
at least wearing red hats, so you got to wear it. You got to wear a tie.
Red hat means something else now than it did when they started the software, I think.
I mean, it's a red fedora. You can actually buy a red fedora, but you can't buy the Fedora blue fedora.
I think you walk around with a red fedora, people are going to think you're Carmen Sandiego. That's all I know.
That's not a bad thing. Also, it wasn't a fedora. Anyway, let's get into some...
What? Really?
No, she had a big floppy hat. That wasn't a fedora.
You can have a floppy fedora? Okay. Anyway, send us your fedora tips at the full nerd
I need more,
at PCWorld.com.
Yeah. We should get into some diary entries. I think you should start.
Next week, we're going to do questions, though.
Yes.
But we already recorded that episode, so I would normally say you should send those in.
Spoilers, man. You're not supposed to bring it up.
What?
We're ruining the joke.
Disclosure.
Okay, yeah.
Anyway, you want me to start?
So be wary. The bit at the beginning of next week is that we actually recorded it before this episode that went up this week. So
we're going to foreshadow the
post shadow.
The what's it called, the flashback.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so this week I got some stuff. I didn't have time to do the performance testing because this weekend was really busy.
Dude,
unfortunately.
Well, and also because that list, the matrix of performance,
it got real bad.
It got real big. There was people in our Discord that are like, "Oh, hey, well, actually, you need to test this, and then actually, you should be testing these as well." Yeah.
The larger problem was that I got distracted.
It's a good distraction, though.
Yeah. So I had a Zune HD that I found when I was cleaning up my office a few months ago.
I am so jealous.
It is. I'm really chuffed about it. It's really good. So this is the Flash MP3 player from the end of Microsoft's attempts to knock off the iPod, and it's like a charming throwback. But the battery was dead in my original one. It has screws,
and it wouldn't even take a charge.
I could plug it in and power it on, but it wouldn't take a charge. Yeah,
which but what is this?
16-year-old device, 17-year-old device.
Yeah, when did that come out? Actually,
2009, I think.
Oh, okay. So
it lasted a year, basically.
You don't want it to get puffy either.
Yeah,
so
no.
I'm surprised it wasn't puffy.
Well, so the back is metal and it was screwed in real good, so I don't think there was room for it to puff.
Oh, that's good.
It was not a squishy battery when I took it out.
Okay.
Though. Anyway, the point is, I fixed the battery this weekend.
Great.
Yeah. 30 gauge wire is the thing that nobody on the internet tells you, but that's the wires that you need to go between the motherboard and the new replacement battery.
Okay.
And that new replacement battery, basically you have to solder in on both ends. So it was a little tricky, but I got there. The point is, I delved into a whole world of Zune software because like this isn't like it doesn't show up as like mass storage where you can just drag a bunch of files on there. You had to have a library tool like iTunes. Originally it was the Zune software, Zune, on Windows.
And you're not talking about what's actually running on the device.
No,
this is still
there's no hack software
okay.
for that.
Okay. This is to get it readable on modern
to be able
OSs.
to put music on or off of it. Yeah.
Wow, Microsoft doesn't support it anymore?
It's weird.
Rude.
It's shocking that they stopped supporting it in like 2012.
How could they?
Yeah. So there's a piece of software, open source piece of software called Zune, Xune. Same pronunciation, different spelling.
I saw what they did.
It has a pop-up on the thing that says, this is not an official Microsoft product.
I mean,
clearly.
Does every piece of open source software need to say that?
But I mean, this is pronounced the same way, and it's for using, like, there's an... Look, you shouldn't assume things, but I could see it making an assumption. Also, the splash screen is the same splash screen as the old Zune software. Like the whole thing,
so
basically,
they're actually stealing.
It's a mimic
stuff.
of the Chrome software, of the Zune software, the window Chrome and all that. Like it even has the same weird 3-column layout. However, I signed up for Rdio in like 2010. Rdio was a Spotify clone.
I remember that. I totally forgot about it.
It was like, imagine if Spotify was good. That's Rdio.
Wow. Shots thrown. We have our video version on Spotify.
That's
Did you
great.
know that?
Spotify's great for podcasts, I guess. I don't know.
No, I don't think it is.
No, look, my wife uses Spotify to listen to podcasts. I'm like,
really?
Why on earth? It's because the audiences the stuff that she listens to, a lot of it is only on Spotify now. Because when Spotify came to us and were like, hey, we would like to make Dual Boot Diaries an exclusive Spotify podcast. We're like,
wait, did they?
No
they
way,
did come
man.
to us?
No, they didn't.
Oh, okay.
Look, just roll with it. They came to us and they were like, no, we're not going to do that. We're not going to take your dirty corporate money because we believe in freedom.
We're FOSS.
We're RSS.
Are we
RSS
FOSS?
for life. No, we're not FOSS.
No, we're free and open. We're giving free
We're
information
not
out there.
open source. It's just free.
No, we're putting the files
It's
out
beer
there.
free,
People
not-
can look at
no.
those MP3 files.
Oh,
Actually, if you want me to upload the Premiere files as well, I can do that.
They can't. We don't give them license to modify that necessarily.
Well, what if we did?
I mean, that's a you decision. I just work here.
What if they supercut our voices over the years?
Look. They're going to do that whether you give them permission to or not.
See.
If you say something stupid
we're
enough,
FOSS.
people will make a video about it. Let me tell you about how you pronounce executable. The point is,
Executable.
this Zune software is pretty good, but I had to go through and dig up my MP3 collection from like 2010, which I stopped maintaining in 2010. And then
It's a time capsule, man.
It really is. It was like going back in time to a time when I didn't just listen to the same 5 albums on a service that I pay $20 a month for all the time. And there's been some bit rot first.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really?
So
where were you holding these files?
They were just on my NAS.
Your NAS,
But
okay.
it's been copied from machine to machine to machine over a period of time. And like, apparently at some point I mounted the directory in the wrong place. So I had 2 layers of music folder. Like I had a music folder with a bunch of music in it. And then there was another music folder in there with the same music again.
Oh.
And so when I imported that into the Zune software, I suddenly had like 8 copies of every song. I was like, why is this happening? This is weird.
Well, real quick, that software, is that Windows only, or did you have
Windows,
that on?
Linux, Mac.
Oh, really?
All 3.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
Wow. There's some real Zune lovers out there to put in that work.
The Zune people, can I say horny on this show?
Sure.
Because the people
You
who are
already
into Zunes are really horny for
hold on.
Zunes. Yeah.
There we go. There's a button.
The Zune people are really enthusiastic about the Zune.
Okay.
I cleaned up, I downloaded Kid 3, which is KID3, which is an ID3 tag editor and like file renamer and stuff to manage your stuff and let me know where I had holes that I had to go back and dig out CDs and an optical drive to re-rip from my collection.
Okay.
I did all that. I had to clean up the album art because apparently at some point in the past I was like, you know what? Album art should be just a JPEG file in the folder, not embedded in the ID3 tags. And I had to go through and embed it all in the ID3 tags so the Zune software could see it. That was like 5 hours probably. I used EasyTag for a minute, which is really, really powerful, but also does stuff without asking you permission to do it, and kind of jacked up my folder a little bit.
Weird.
So that wasn't great.
Okay.
The Kid 3 thing is really nice, and it lets you open, like, I would open an artist folder and go through and fix all of the albums from that artist at one time. You could do track renames, the whole thing. It was a really powerful piece of software.
Okay.
And now I can listen to music on the Zune.
Wait, but like this connector, how did you mount it physically to the device?
Well, that's
your laptop.
This is the Zune connector.
Yeah.
Only available on 5 models of Zune.
Yeah.
I have a dock that it slides into, and I just plug it in. The other end is USB-A.
Oh, USB Type A. Oh,
Yeah.
like USB 2 or 1?
Probably 2.
Yeah. Okay. And
Maybe
then
even
you were
3
able to
by
plug that
then,
in.
but yeah, I was able. No, it would have been 2.
Oh, okay.
I was able to plug
Okay.
it in. Yeah.
Okay.
There's mods that you can use to swap out the board that has the Zune connector and then put a USB Type C on, or maybe micro. I can't remember, but I think I'm going to keep it.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know if
keep it
micro
clean.
is an upgrade.
I might buy just a cable, because you can buy Zune cables.
Oh, without the
people
dock. Oh,
without
okay.
the dock, because the dock's kind of a pain in the butt.
Yeah, I'm so jealous. We talk about this on the Full Nerd, but now I'm like kind of wish listing some Zune HDs on eBay. If anyone out there has a Zune HD that they will be willing to part with, I got some money for you.
The thing, I mean, look, keep going to the flea market. You'll find one eventually. The thing that's neat about it is having the music be contained in a way that on a not on device is really nice when I go walking or something, because I just put this little tiny thing in my pocket and plug in my headphones with a wire.
It's great.
Like the kids do.
I mean, those specific headphones you're wearing.
Yeah,
right
and
now.
then I don't get any notifications or anything while I'm walking. I just like chill out to some music from like 2012.
But how do you know how many steps you're
I'm
taking?
My watch does that.
No.
Yeah.
You leave that at home too?
Well, I don't have it's not connected to the internet when I'm not by my phone.
Oh, great.
So it's fine.
Oh, you got the Chud one that doesn't have the 5G.
It has the 5G, but I'm not paying Verizon $20 a month to have 5G on the
your
watch.
wrist.
Yeah, no, that's stupid.
Well, so,
Anyway,
what did you learn from this whole endeavor about Linux?
I learned that I need to probably take a real hard look at my music folder and maybe consider declaring music bankruptcy and just re-ripping all the CDs from scratch.
Well, you know what I did at one point? All of the media that I had, like I had on an external drive, and I think I was running out of space. And so I went through and I started deleting songs out of albums that I didn't really care about. So now a lot of the albums I have are just like half the songs. And I'm like, okay, yeah.
Yep, that's a problem, it turns out. I need to... So I bought... When I stopped buying CDs and I started buying MP3s... I didn't buy them from Apple. I bought them almost exclusively from Amazon.
Really?
So I think, because they had a no DRM MP3 store at the time, which was novel.
Yeah, but it was missing a bunch of stuff, wasn't it? Wasn't that the thing?
But like, I have a bunch of albums there that I can probably just download cleaned up versions of the MP3s.
Oh, yeah, because
direct from them.
Yeah, you would upload an MP3 and then they would kind of replace it with a nicer version?
No. I paid 99 cents a track or $10 for an album.
Oh, you bought
like,
these?
These are like things that I bought
okay.
from the store, I think. Yeah. So yeah, it's like I can download the freshies from there and just...
You don't want that Not a Surf album.
Not a Surf's good, man.
Not that album.
You don't like Lucky?
No,
that one's okay. The first one was better.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was fun to go back in the time capsule, and it was nice to get music that is, let's say, not available on services. So I was listening to some Girl Talk and some Neil Ciceraga and some Danger Mouse and a bunch of stuff that kind of doesn't exist in the modern era of streaming services. So
I like back when I switched over to Android from iPhone, that's when I built up a lot of my music collection as well, and I don't remember all the different iterations of Google's YouTube or Google's music players.
They had a music thing you could upload stuff to, and they would do the cleanup thing.
Yeah, and
that was how you could. That's how you could make all your Napster tracks nice and legal.
Yeah, and so luckily, I used YouTube Music, but that's mostly because I pay for YouTube Premium and it's included. So I was like, okay, whatever. And so part of that process, the migration from what the previous service was, and now I'm blanking what the name of...
It was Google Music.
Google Music, yeah. You could actually transfer over the songs that you had in there. You can no longer upload songs, as
That's
far as I
annoying.
understand. But the songs that you had in your library still transfer over, and I can still go ahead and download the nicest versions of those.
That's
But the
nice.
problem still exists is that I only uploaded some of those. I only uploaded only the songs that
Yeah.
I wanted off an album, and I kind of just want the whole album again.
Yep.
So
So the other thing is there's a whole host of ecosystem stuff about serving this kind of music content. So like
Really?
there's like I have a Plex Pass, which like, hey, if you didn't buy a Plex Pass before they raised the price,
well, no,
sorry about that.
July 1st, so you still have time.
Get your Plex Pass this month, I guess.
What do you get with that?
You get transcoding and saving stuff locally. It's less important now than it was like 5 years ago when the internet was bad, mobile internet was bad.
Yeah, because I was like, you're paying to host your own Plex server?
You're paying for services that are attached to the product that go beyond the basic serving of files.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know. I bought it for $150 like 12, 13 years ago.
Yeah,
which
I've always wanted to get into Plex, but I never have. And the problem is that like now I'm like, okay, well, I'm definitely not going to jump in. But should I just go ahead and buy the $250 before it goes up?
I mean,
if I ever end up using Plex, which
$250 is kind of a lot of money, but
I know, but there's I might never use it.
So hardware accelerated streaming doesn't come by default with the normal server. You don't get the ability to do downloads in the clients like on your phone. So when you're on the airplane, you can watch the movie, stuff like that. Which was the main thing I had because like when my kid was little, I would load stuff up on her iPad when we were on a long car ride or something, and she'd have stuff to do and not be like, "Hey, are we there yet?" Those are the big one, and they do PlexAmp, which is their music server player. It's a dedicated client for your library at home.
You can't get that on your Zune HD.
Can't get that
though,
on my
can
Zune
you?
HD.
Junk.
But I can get it on my phone, which I carry with me everywhere. So I got that going for me.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway.
Okay, so I got the Zune. That was the big chunk of the weekend. I did also make some small changes to the desktop PC.
Okay.
So SDDM, the desktop manager, display manager, the thing that launches the Neri and Noctalia and KDE and whatever I have running. Every time I boot my desktop PC, it shows up on all three monitors, which is kind of obnoxious, like the login screen.
Oh,
so it's like
it
on the
just
top and
mirrors
bottom and the right.
And it's just mirroring.
And yeah, if I move the mouse between screens and it you have to type in the password again and all that, it's a pain in the butt.
Oh, that's weird. Okay.
So I looked up and I loaded up the config file for SDDM and I was like, hey, only do this on DisplayPort 2, the port on DisplayPort 2. So now it only comes up on one screen, which is really nice.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. I also got the fingerprint stuff working right so that I just have to tap the fingerprint sensor and I don't have to do anything else and it just works, which is good.
You still have to hit enter to get the password line.
I don't anymore. I did the
really?
gross hack thing. So the problem now is I have the PAM configurations are all out of sync between the laptops and the desktop, and I got to figure out why the one on desktop works the way I want it to, where I just touch the fingerprint sensor, and the one on the laptops, I still have to do the thing where I press enter first, and then it says hit your password, and you touch the fingerprint sensor. But I'll get there. Like that's opening up the files on the two machines at the same time and making them look the same.
Nice.
I got the fingerprint sensor working on the Framework 13, which has been nice. And it does it like understanding how the PAM stuff nests, so that if you set up like the systemauth PAM entry correctly, that nests down to all of the other things that include the systemauth entry, AUTH. That's been really good because it means that instead of having to put those fingerprint sensor, the fprintd commands in each individual of 30 PAM files, I can just put them in systemauth, and then everything that includes systemauth just kind of works, which is good. This is a good thing.
Okay.
So I talked about switching from Grub to Limine on my desktop PC a few weeks ago. And
wait, I thought you were on Refine.
No, I haven't been on Refine for ages because Refine, getting Snapper support working on Refine was a pain in the butt.
What it was. That's what it was.
So when I had to reinstall last year, I fixed it all. But I did Grub because Grub seemed like the best. And now Cashy's like, hey, Limine by default. And I'm like, okay, well, I got to get back on the defaults.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
So, because Limine works with Snapper out of the box. And it's much, much easier to get going. The config's a little weirder than, like, Refined is the most configurable, I think. You can do theming and all sorts of weird stuff like that. Limine Grub is the most bare bones, and Limine kind of shoots the gap between those two, it seems like, because it has built-in Snapper support. It understands Btrfs, all the stuff you want.
Snapper, I've heard of this thing.
Yeah, Snapper, you should have Snapper. It's good. So I was reading about how to do this, and the recommendation, the official recommendation is, well, you got to either reinstall or you boot off a live disk and then recreate your boot volume, wipe your boot volume and recreate it from, like, let Microsoft do its thing in there, and then you recreate it from scratch.
Okay.
Those, not going to do that.
Okay, yeah.
So then I found a Reddit post from like a year and a half ago that was like, yo, if you just install this package, it'll just work.
Yeah. Get it from my GitHub.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's a Limine dash MK init CPIO.
Okay. And you trusted it?
It was like 1 o'clock. It was like 1 o'clock in the morning,
Okay.
and you know, we all know that we make our best long-term decisions about like, hey, is this going to mess up the stability of my computer?
You say I make bad decisions
at like 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And maybe I'd had a couple of drinks that night because I was playing games with my friends. But I was like, you know what? I got Snapper. Let's throw the dice. Let's see how this goes. I don't think Snapper covers the boot partition for the record. But anyway, I knew how to recreate the boot partition from scratch if I had to, and I had the live CD there, the live thumb drive there.
Okay, yeah. And another drink.
And I went and got it. I hit the button. I said yes. I tapped the fingerprint sensor. I went and got another drink, and I came back, and it was like, yeah, we got this. I was like, hey, well, let's reboot and see how this works.
Your dad is safe.
Yeah. So you don't get those kinds of friendly messages here. Don't worry, man. We got your stuff. It's cool. So it worked.
It worked. No issues?
Well, then I realized I had created a problem for myself because the hooks for Grub and the hooks for Limine, like every time you compile the kernel and it has to do Grub hooks to like sign the new kernel and all that stuff, it's doing all that stuff twice now because it's doing it for Grub and it's doing it for Limine.
Does that matter?
Well, it fills up the space on the boot partition twice as fast so you can have fewer snapshots and stuff in there.
Okay. Ooh.
And I was looking at it and I was like, I don't think it's safe to just uninstall Grub. And when I tried to do, I did a paru-rns Grub. It was like, hey, all this other stuff depends on this. You shouldn't do this.
Yeah, dog.
So it was 1 o'clock in the morning. I was like, I'm going to make a good decision now. I'm not going to fool with this now. But this morning.
Oh, you made a good decision. Okay.
Eventually. This morning I woke up and I was like, you know what? Hey, fast forward to next week. I asked if this was safe to do, but I just did it today. So I got up this morning. I was doing some other stuff. I was actually loading up more music on the Zune. And I was like, what if I just get rid of Grub? So I just kept scrolling up through the things that it said were depending on the core Grub thing. And I kept removing them one at a time. And the computer didn't like this. It had thoughts about what I was doing to the system.
I don't think you understand what you said. You said stay tuned to next week, but next week we already filmed.
Yeah.
Which is the Q&A
I asked
episode.
the question next week. Look, we're in a time loop here, okay?
And the week after that, I'm in Computex. So people are not going to know what happened to your system until the week after Computex.
Well, no, they're going to know now because I'm going to tell them.
Oh, you're going to tell them?
Yeah, the situation resolved itself.
Oh, okay. I thought you said stay tuned to next week because you don't know.
No, I said next week I asked this question, but I'm going to give you the answer now.
Got it.
So the answer is everything's cool.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
I rebooted before I left and everything was fine.
Oh, great.
Yeah. Now when I do an update, only one set of hooks fire on the boot manager.
Do those Grub entries still exist in your?
I'll have to go and manually clean them out.
So you
there's
can
a Grub
clean
folder
them
I can
out.
just delete.
Yeah.
I can rm-rf that. Now, there's two things. One is that there's a package called it's Limine Snapper, I think.
Okay.
And if you want the snapper, it's Limine Snapper Sync. If you want, by default, if you install Limine as your boot manager, we install Cache, it puts that in as part of the package. If you're switching to Limine after the fact, you need to turn that on manually, or else you don't get the Snapper snapshots in the boot. Like they're still there, but you don't get the boot menu entries for those, so you can switch back to them easily, so you can roll back easily.
And is Snapper already a part of Cache?
Snapper is built into Cache.
Okay.
Well, actually, Snapper, there's a button in the Cache Hello tweaks section that you can hit that installs Snapper support, which I would highly encourage people to do.
Okay. All right.
So that everything, I did the stupid thing, the ill-advised thing, and it worked out.
I mean, for now.
Yeah.
But once again, people won't know if it got worse for 3 more weeks.
I'll post about it on Blue Sky probably.
Okay.
Let's see. Other things. I've noticed on my Linux machines that I get signed out of Google sites more often than I do on the Windows machine. on the Windows install. So like when
through what browser?
Firefox.
Huh.
So when I'm logged in to Firefox on Linux, almost every time I reboot, it gives me you got to sign in. I got like 4 Google accounts, so I have to sign into all of them every time. When I boot back into Windows, even though I use Windows like once a week at this point, they're always logged in.
In Firefox
on Windows.
Huh.
So something is up with that. And I don't know if it's a setting problem on my end or if like Google thinks that Linux is suspicious or what, but it's kind of annoying. And I would love, if anybody has tips on this, I would really welcome if there's something I can do to make this better.
Where are you getting that version of Firefox?
The
Paru
Arch repository.
Okay.
It's just like the
So
normal version.
it should be
it's a normal ass
feature
browser.
parity.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not some weird cachy variant fork of Firefox.
Nope. I tested the Motu is doing a little bit of crackling.
Oh yeah, we talked about that.
I plugged the headphones directly into that, not the wireless ones, and I'm still getting a little bit of occasional crackling. I did turn the buffer size down or up. I can't remember which way on the Motu.
Probably up.
I think I actually went down because there was a post I found that was like, hey, maybe your buffer's too high.
Oh. Okay.
So I'll report back on how that goes. Not next week, but the week after.
Not the week after.
Yeah.
3 weeks.
No. This week is what we're recording now.
Yep.
Next week we recorded yesterday.
And then
the week after
I will be in Computex and I'll have a guest.
Wait, I thought next week you were at Computex.
Next week I'm flying to Computex, but Computex, the full Computex happens the week after that. So, yeah. Stay tuned for Will's adventures. We won't catch up with you.
Will's Linux journey.
For
I'll just get Brad Shoemaker on the podcast.
Weeks
without you here. Be like, hey Brad, let's talk about Linux.
Not okay.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's what I got.
Is that it?
Sure.
Okay.
I didn't test the OBS Windows versus Linux capture stuff, and I didn't do more performance testing because it's kind of time consuming, and I didn't have with all the Zune media like. Look, I was updating my MP3 collection. It was really important work.
Yeah. Well, and I joke around about the matrix table, but that's one of the problems with doing a lot of testing is that like you have to know where like how much testing to do versus how little, right? Like I feel like the late great Gordon Mong, I think he tested too much. Like he would come in after a CPU review and he would just be dead in the eyes from like going 48 hours or even longer straight of just like testing every benchmark under the sun. And I'm like, did you need to really run 4 different browser benchmarks? And he's like, well, if I'm going to run one, I might as well run all 4.
Yeah, but since you run each one 3 times,
yeah,
then all of a sudden you're running 12 or 16, and then each one of those takes 30 minutes to run. So that's like 8 hours of benchmarking.
And here it's like you literally multiply. Because it's like, even if you're like, okay, you know what, I'm going to test 5 games.
Yeah.
5 games feels like maybe a good sampling, maybe across a bunch of different engines and types of games, yada, yada. Okay, cool. But then how am I going to test, how many different variables am I going to test each one of them? Assuming you're only going to do one version of the game, like one settings pass of the game, then you've got 5. And then you're like, oh, okay, well, I got to test Plasma and then KDE and then...
I'm only testing Plasma and Neri
and then GameScope. Okay, but even 3, so then it's like, okay, so then you're talking about 9 runs per game, and it adds up quick. And most people would be like, 5 games, that's not enough games. You need to get more games. And then you're like, okay, well then multiply that. So
but
like,
you're paying me to come in and talk for an hour.
Yeah. So it adds up. I'm curious, and it was interesting to have everyone's socks be blown off from last week's episode. But also, that is a really small sample size. So
it is a really small sample size. And the one thing I do absolutely want to do, and I'll maybe do this while you're gone, is take the time to figure out if somebody had suggested that Neri Wayland may not be doing the frame timing stuff that KDE is doing.
Oh,
because KDE is doing intentional frame timing in the same way that you get on Windows with like Reflex and all that stuff, so that the frames are spaced evenly rather than coming in hot and then cold. And I don't know. I'm curious about that.
Yeah. So it was Scaru over on YouTube.
Yeah,
I want to give them credit for bringing that up.
It was a good thought.
Other people made thoughts as well, but that would be interesting.
So Mango HUD can generate a frame timing spreadsheet that's basically the same as the ones that I get from Process Manager, FrameView, Procmon. Yeah. in Windows. So we'll see.
Okay. Cool.
That's what I got. Should we take an ad break and talk about what you've been up to?
That's fantastic. We should take an ad break and we'll be right back. And we're back.
Wow, it's like
after that ad break. So I listened to this week's Full Nerd, and the pre-roll ad was Windows. I wonder how many ads we're getting that are Windows on this podcast. Let us know.
I love that. Yeah, please.
I think
let
hilarious.
me know how much the advertisers want you to use Copilot. It's great. Adam loves it. It's
Yeah.
how he troubleshoots all of his Linux problems.
Yeah. Hey, Copilot. I've got a button on it right there. You've got a button right there on your laptop. You just hit it. Actually, what happens if you hit that button?
So
on
usually usually I bind that to super.
Oh,
so I get
really?
so that way
you get two super keys.
Because like on Near you use the super and then the arrow keys to navigate around. So it's nice to have it on the right side too, because then you can do it one-handed.
Oh, that is nice. So the Copilot button is useful.
Copilot button actually useful. Yes.
There we go. Boom. Speaking of Copilot and Windows, that's what I've been doing.
You love Copilot. You love Windows.
I have. So last week I talked about the issues that I've had with my laptop. Everyone else in the Discord is
baffled,
befluxed.
I think you have a hardware problem. I think it's legit something going wrong with the hardware.
And I went back in. Somebody was like, "Oh, hey, why are you knocking Asus for trying to do battery management? Maybe your battery is really low and it's disabling the discrete GPU." And
That's
I was like, okay, I'll go check. And I turned it on without the power input. The GPU did not show up again in either Fedora or Windows, and the battery was at 100%.
Is this a BIOS setting maybe that like you got a BIOS update?
There's barely anything in. That's what I think is that there was a BIOS update recently that did something, but I don't know. So it's got me a little discouraged. Like obviously I had the grub issue and all that kind of stuff, and I wanted to set up Snapper, and then I was just like, I don't know if I want to stick with this laptop.
Yeah.
So number one, I didn't really do anything Linux based in the past week. Number two, I have switched to a new laptop because I'm taking this to Computex.
This is the Panther Lake?
Yeah, this is the new Dell XPS 16. I don't remember the actual model number. Doesn't matter. It's the brand new one.
How are you going to use this?
I know, right? Yeah, I do hate that. But yeah, so this has the Intel Core Ultra X7 285H. No.
Oh yeah,
I don't know.
The 85H.
It's not the highest end Panther Lake. It's missing 2 performance cores on the CPU, but it does have the 12 CU count
it has the
on
big
the
giant
GPU. Yeah. But
how much RAM?
32 gigs in this one.
Okay, that's okay.
I can't remember if it's soldered on this configuration or not, because I think Dell might solder theirs on.
That seems like a Dell thing.
Anyway, I set this up because I wanted to do some testing between the laptop that I had, because I theoretically that ProArt that I've been using has both Windows and Linux on it. I know I've been kind of waffling on which one to use for Computex, but I'm going alone, and so I'm going to have to do some video editing, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm not even going to mess with Linux. So at that point, I was like, okay, well then I have this new laptop in hand. Should I just use this in Windows anyway? And I did some testing, and I was like, wow, Panther Lake, actually
pretty good, it turns out.
Choose through video editing, really good. Even compared to that ProArt has a Ryzen AI HX 370 whatever. So the high end.
It's like the one below Strix Halo, basically.
I mean, there is a new one. 400 is the new series, but whatever. So Strix Point, this is the highest end. Strix Point with a RTX 5070 laptop version.
Mobile, which is a 5060.
Essentially, yeah. And so I did do some benchmarking between the two, and that the ProArt does beat it in certain encoding tests, especially like raw and stuff like that. But this Panther Lake actually gets damn close, and I was like, okay, well, I'm going to set this up. And I actually edited last week's podcast and the other podcast and a couple other videos on this just to see. And I was like, wow, this actually does, I think this is going to do fine.
Kind of owns.
Yeah, so I'm going to take this. So I've been living in Windows world almost exclusively right now.
I was going to say, how's the Linux support on the brand new hardware even?
Well, number one, there's only one drive slot, only one M.2 slot.
Have to do a dual boot.
So I'd have to do a dual boot. Nope, I ain't going to do that. The other, and I do have an extra drive that I could swap in. I was thinking about doing that, but then I was like, also,
kind of a delicate princess with the dual boot thing.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. We're actually going to get into that on Expedition Handheld, where Russ and I from Retro Game Core, there was somebody who had their recent dual boot of Bazite and Windows on their ROG Ally break, and I was like, yep, that'll happen. So no, I'm especially for a mission critical laptop.
Yeah,
I'm not going to do it.
What if you just take 2 laptops?
Yeah,
double up.
Okay, so anyway, this is brand new laptop, up to date, Windows 11, and I thought it would be a nice time to check in with where Windows 11 is.
This is the Windows content people crave. It's
hey, this is called the Dual Boot Diaries. Yeah, this is Dual Boot Diaries. So you're over here in Linux land.
Why don't you guys ever talk about Linux or Windows?
Windows. I'm here, Windows land. Well, we talked about it a couple months ago.
Yeah.
Windows came out and was like, "We hear you. We suck, and we want to do better."
Yeah.
We know Linux is awesome.
Yeah.
We know everybody hates Copilot for some reason.
Kids love the MacBook Neo.
Yeah, well, they didn't call out Apple specifically though. They called out Linux, but they didn't call out
Linux,
which is funny.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I was like,
so
okay.
how's stuff going over there? I haven't installed Windows in a minute.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, this is up to date.
Did you wipe this and do a clean install, or is this the Dell install?
Well, when I got it, it had this actually came from one of our reviewers.
Okay.
So I did the local wipe.
Like the
so
start,
it has
dealy. Okay.
So it has everything that Dell configured on there, whatever. But yeah, let me get into some of the changes, because actually I went back and looked, and I mean, I've seen a little bit of news pop up here and there of like, oh, hey, Microsoft is rolling out this feature, that feature, and I was like, okay, but this is weird. Nobody's talking about it really deeply, and so I went and looked, and I went to Microsoft.com, which you would think, that's
home of news about Windows,
right? That's the place where they would signal like, oh, hey, we've got new Windows updates. Nah, it's junk. So I had to dig into the Windows Insider blog. That is pretty much the only place where, because even if you look under latest news, so even though that's latest news, that's from the Insider blog. So like Microsoft has a bunch of blogs, and only the Windows Insider blog is giving any sort of signposting into what they're doing.
Okay.
Because it's rolling out to insiders.
Of course.
But I would say that this is a failing of Windows. Like in one of the blogs, they start off with like, oh, hey, we hear you. You want us to be more open and transparent about the process, right? But they're only putting that information in the Microsoft Insider blogs. And nobody's going to be reading those. So, like, come on, Microsoft. Like, you should get this information in other places as well.
But they should put it on the TikTok. The kids love TikTok.
Yeah, something like that.
Like, what's your vertical video strategy, Microsoft? Come on.
Anyway, there's two. Since we talked about it, there's been 2 Windows Insider blogs that have talked about the update processes.
Yeah.
So the first one is from May 1st. I have a link down in the description. You can go follow along. I want to go through some of the things in here because I think it's interesting. The first one, they talk about less disruption from updates. So a single monthly restart by consolidating OS.NET and driver updates. My first question is, I guess I don't understand what a .NET is. I always see those updates, but I'm like,
it's like a framework for applications. So it's like the Visual C++ libraries. .NET is the ones for C# and the more modern. It's like the stuff that your application needs to run that's not built into your application. It's like a dependency. To put it in Linux.
Hey, there we go. I like that. Thank you. Yeah. Why is it called .NET? Like that makes me think it's a web version.
No, that was the name of the Look, this is a bad name from like 15, 20 years ago. Yeah. That just like the .NET was the thing that they chose to name all of their post C++ tech family of technologies. Okay. And as a result, we're now stuck with this stupid name for 17 years or something.
Yeah. So every time I see that come through on an update, I'm just like, what does this have to do with Microsoft.net? I don't know.
It used to be that if you went to Microsoft.net, there was nothing there, but now I think it forwards to Microsoft.com.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Anyway, that sounds good, right? A single monthly cadence for all the major pieces of it, right?
I mean,
I guess
my computer
I don't know. That one's weird.
So I have been personally impacted. Like I was doing pitches one time and had Windows probably 10 at the time because it was VR time frame. Decide it was going to reboot for me during the middle of a present. Like I was giving the presentation on my MacBook and I had the demo machine set up on the other side, and they were like, hey, we're doing a big update. This is going to take 2 hours to run. And I had a 30-minute meeting, and I was like, guys, I'm so sorry. I'm just going to, and I just pulled the plug and plugged it back in and restarted, and it worked. Thank God. But like,
Well,
this doesn't feel like a big problem, except for the fact that they force you to reboot and install this stuff occasionally.
Well, that's the next note they have on here is saying you will always they're changing it so that you always see the standard restart and shutdown options, regardless if there's an update pending, which I think is a good thing.
I think I did that a while ago with a
Well, 'cause sometimes
policy editor though.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, but normal users are not going to.
Yeah,
go
no, I
into
know.
group
I mean,
policies,
like
so,
this.
yeah.
I think a large part of this initiative is to give normies the experience.
Normal users.
Normal users, the experience that people who care about this stuff for a long time have gotten by hacking registry keys and doing group policy edit stuff and all that. Anyway,
so. And then the last line of that little section says, "You decide when to updates happen, not the other way around."
this seems like this. The fact that we're in 2026 and this is the conversation we're having is a sign of multiple failures.
Yes, but at least they're saying it's a problem. The first step is to admit that there's a problem,
Look,
right? So
I'm not good. You don't have to hand it to them, but good job, Microsoft.
I'm not handing it to them.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
So the next kind of bullet point here is simplifying AI experiences. Now we have heard about this one. So they've removed Copilot from the snipping tool and photos.
It says they've removed the button. They haven't actually removed the tools.
True. Yeah. Well, and then in Notepad they replaced the generic Copilot icon with a clear writing tools label that better describes what it does.
This doesn't do the thing that I wanted out of this.
So this is the news that we did hear about recently of like, oh hey, you know what? They're just taking the button out. They're not actually, or they're taking the button out or renaming it. It's doing the same thing.
It's wallpaper.
You know what this made me think of though?
Like just to be clear, this is like the software equivalent of, oh crap, somebody punched a hole in my drywall. Let me just put a nice piece of wallpaper up over that. I'm gonna hang a painting over the hole.
Well, you know what you know what this tells me though, is that the name Copilot is probably
It's rancid.
So like Cortana. The name has been so sullied that they're like, you know what, we're going to keep the AI tools in some of these things, but we're not going to call it Cortana
they're going to name
anymore.
it Clippy now,
or we're not going to name it Copilot. Like
Clippy 2.0.
I bet this means we'll stop seeing the Copilot button on laptops as well, because like I think
so much money making those Copilot buttons happen.
Believe me, yes, yes. So that's interesting. And then the last line says, quote, "You'll see us continue to deliberate about where Copilot shows up."
Be deliberate. That's important.
Oh, to be deliberate. I'm sorry, not deliberate. That would be funny if they were.
It's the same word, but it's different. Yeah, anyway.
Deliberate about where Copilot shows up with fewer, more curated experiences, end quote. So fewer experiences, I don't know what that means. More curated experiences, I don't know what that means either. So,
the thing I want is a button that says, hey, send Copilot into the recycle bin. That's all I want. I want a way to turn this off. It's the thing that Firefox did a few months ago, where they have now there's a big button at the top that's like, hey, do you want AI on or AI off? And you hit the AI off button, and you don't see any more of the AI crap at all.
I bet the first step is to nuke the name Copilot.
They're trying to avoid having to do that.
I know, but I think that's the first step. But then they'll see, yes, the name Copilot is so toxic, but also people don't want these features either. So I think we're seeing the first steps of it. The next point is File Explorer, and to tell you the truth, when I was thinking about this, I was like, yeah, sure, every once in a while it'll hang on something, but like I don't feel like I have issues with File Explorer. Do you?
I timed it the other day when I clicked the button to open it, and it took like 300 milliseconds
to open File Explorer.
Which feels long.
Okay. I'm gonna.
You're on a new install there, though.
Yeah, so I don't know. I get, I don't know. I've never.
Are you on the Insider build, or are you on just 26H2?
I'm not. No.
Okay, so you probably don't have the File Explorer changes yet.
I don't, but it's still. I mean, it's snappy enough.
You don't have anything on that computer though. Like put a machine.
No,
with
I have stuff on here. Look at this. I've got all my applications, like Kensington Trackball. Don't worry, I installed my.
Put a machine with multiple drives and a couple of USB storage things hanging off the side of it, and let me know how it goes.
Yeah, well, you should have a clean system, maybe. Maybe the problem is you.
I'm a power user.
Yeah.
My
Anyway.
system's filthy. It's
So,
dirty.
I mean, a couple of things they did point out are faster and more dependable. Okay, sure. Foundational architectural improvements. I don't know what that means. Reduces hangs, improved responsiveness, polish, and drive consistent gains in performance. buzzwords. Deliver smoother, more responsive launch and navigation, making the home experience more stable with fewer jarring transitions and improved visual polish, including sharper thumbnails.
I mean, look,
I guess I don't know where this specific stuff is coming from. Yes, the improvement stuff or the performance speed of it.
Yeah, the snappiness.
It is great for sure, but like the visual polish, jarring transitions, sharper thumbnails, I guess I don't understand.
To me, the problem with this, the problem with the new task manager, the problem with a lot of this stuff is that they took the old versions of these that had been around for a long time and are really, really optimized and really, really fast and work even when the machine is failing, right? Like when the machine is crashing out and Explorer is closed, you could still open up a File Explorer, an old File Explorer instance, and it would let you grab the 3 files you needed to get off of the dying machine before everything shut down, right? And the new File Explorer, because it ties into these other, it's like they rolled out the new version and then didn't do any iteration to get it to the point that it was as good as the old version. And I think that's the thing I'm feeling out of this kind of feedback is, hey, we built the one using the new APIs instead of the one that was written by Dave Plummer 100 years ago, and now it's bad as a result. So anyway. And Task Manager has the same problem in a lot of ways. Like the new Task Manager. Is it on here?
Yeah, it's on the list. So the next thing is about they had a big section about widgets and feeds.
Nobody cares about that.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't even know how to get there. How do you?
Well, you turned them off.
Oh, you're right. I did.
Yeah, there's usually a weather widget where your start button is on the left side of the start menu.
Oh, you're right. Widget. Okay.
Yeah,
but I don't know what feeds is.
Feeds. It's this stuff. So these all are populated with feeds.
Oh, this is a feed. Oh, okay.
Feeds. It's like
does
MSN,
anybody use this?
Old people.
I know, but like
your grandmother loves this stuff because it's like, this is how I connect with the outside world.
Nah, I don't know.
I'm just telling you, when you pay for placement on MSN or AOL or one of those ancient portals, you get people like these things drive an insane amount of traffic because somebody's using them.
I got one notification, breaking news. I don't want that.
Yeah, no, this is
also this is weird. It says sign in to save your changes. I'm already signed in on this
No,
this
you're
machine.
not. Clearly not.
Outlook,
You're signed out on widgets.
So anyway, so I don't care. And then the next step, which is funny, they were talking about the changes they were going to do that. And then the next bullet point is talking about improved system performance. And the second bullet point on that one is widgets is one of the areas we're focused on, leveraging device characteristics and user behavior patterns to optimize memory for our users. This includes things like smaller default memory footprint, giving back memory faster when not in use, putting the user in more control of pre-launch, and limiting pre-launch on devices with lower memory capacity. So like they went into all this talk about how they were going to, update widgets, and then they were like, "Oh, by the way, also widgets is slowing down performance. We need to deal with it."
Look, here's my one simple step to solve this problem. Everybody who works on Windows should be forced to run on a min-spec laptop for Windows 11.
Right. Yeah.
If you give them an 8 gig, if you give all these people 8 gigabyte laptops with like a 1600 by 900 screen, probably something ancient, you're going to get a dramatic improvement in that experience really quickly.
I bet. I mean, I don't know. I have no insight, but I bet the lower ranking workers have those kind of machines. It's the upper management that probably has nice machines, and they're like, "What? I got this brand new Dell XPS, and this is great." And then the pencil pusher at the bottom is like, wow, I got this Lenovo ThinkPad from 10 years ago.
Anybody who's compiling stuff is probably on some sort of mobile workstation with a bunch of cores.
Yeah.
But like
I'm just saying, like, there's people over there, I'm sure, who know all these issues. And then there's other people who are like, there's no issues. What are you talking about?
I'm just using my Edge. I'm over here edging all the time, and it seems like it works fine on my machine with 64 gigs of RAM.
So, but yes, like they had a whole thing talking about we've been actively investigating and pursuing memory savings across the system. Thank goodness. In mid-March, we began rolling out targeted performance power tuning, yada, yada, yada. The last one I thought was interesting. One other cool update was the work team recently did to update the Windows scheduler. By better handling process power states, C states, we improve user-perceived responsiveness in everyday use.
That's fantastic.
Except for the line that says we improve user-perceived responsiveness in everyday use, not actual responsiveness.
If I perceive it to be faster, then that's all I need.
I know, but like that could be like a tweak for animations, right?
That's
like
fantastic. They should
speed.
tweak. The animations are too damn slow.
Yes, but also that's not a system performance thing.
Why
put that?
Perceived performance is performance.
I guess, but that's also just a Band-Aid. Like you're like, hey, you know what? This application over here is using extra RAM, but we're gonna make it the animation launch faster, so it feels like it's still faster.
That's fine,
but we're not
like
addressing
that. Literally
the actual
addresses
problem.
the problem of it takes too long to launch.
Well, except for it's still using too much RAM.
I mean, those are two different problems, though, right? One is, hey, this doesn't run well on a low RAM computer. The other is, this application takes too long to launch because we put a bunch of stupid options in. Now, I'm going to say something. This is a hot take.
Please, hot take time.
The minimum spec for Windows XP was 64 megabytes of RAM.
Wow. I mean, but that was what
25 years ago at this point.
Yeah.
It's a long time ago.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
I don't know what value I'm getting out of 1,000 times more RAM in my desktop computer with Windows 11.
More fancy programs.
I can run more stuff at the same time. That's true. But like Windows 11, when you're running idle, is running 250 times as much RAM as I had on my computer 20 years ago. Yeah. Like, what are they using? What are you getting out of this? Right? It's idling at like 12 gigs of RAM, right?
Yeah, it depends on the system, the configuration, all that stuff. Yeah. This
you're at 17 and a half with a 7,
Chrome,
8 browser tabs open.
Yeah. Monday,
Discord,
and Discord, Teams,
and
Edge,
you're edging too,
and system. Yeah.
And Task Viewer.
Yeah.
Like that's
an Adobe.
That's insane. Well, okay, never mind. You say no more.
Yeah. Well,
but like it's insane. The amount of RAM we're using, and it makes sense because for a long time RAM was basically free, right?
Yeah.
Like, hey, everybody can. We've said it on the Full Nerd for years. Hey, if you want to upgrade for your computer, go from 16 to 30 gigs, go from 32 gigs to 64 gigs. Now you might as well go buy a third car.
Like I kind of wish they would actually call that out in this blog to be like, hey, listen, you know what? We understand the RAM crunch is in a bad spot right now, and so we're doing something to address that. They're not saying that.
Well,
which would be nice to hear.
I guess my point is this is a problem that was 20 plus years in the making, and it's not something you're going to be able to turn on a dime and change overnight. It's going to take some real time and dedicated effort to improve.
But don't worry, we got time with this RAM crisis. So.
But the problem I'm seeing is that so far they're doing the Band-Aids, which... Like, look, there's a whole theory of management where you put the things into a square, right? And you have 2 columns and 2 rows in the square. So it's 4 squares inside a bigger square.
Okay.
And one of them is fast. They're fast and slow and difficult and easy, right? So you take the things that are in the fast and easy column first, square first, you do those. And then you save those ones for the difficult and time-consuming for later, right?
Okay.
But at some point, you have to get to those difficult, time-consuming ones. So I hope... that right now there's people toiling away on how do we make Task Manager not use 2 gigs of RAM? I made that number up. I don't know how much it's actually using, but like, how do we get this overall memory footprint down? And that's going to be a lot of like block and tackle, one system at a time, and it's going to involve a lot of reaching out to partners like Adobe that are like, hey man, you can't have 30 different applications running with your Creative Cloud program anymore. Hey ASUS. Armory Crate can't have 35 processes that it spawns, right? Yeah. Like there's all of this whole ecosystem software that's built up around infinite memory.
Well,
and you can't do that anymore.
Actually, I bet the easiest win on that is to say, hey, when a user installs an application, do not enable start on or
auto start.
Default to auto start, because that's the biggest thing when I go to like a normal user's house and they're like, oh yeah, it's so slow to turn on or something, and I'm like, oh, look at all these apps starting up at the same time.
50 things in your bar.
Yeah, and like that, like I think that's like the quickest thing that is like an issue that they could address.
And if they want to really address this,
I mean, and they actually could do that, because like I always go into Task Manager and look at the things that start and disable the ones that I'm like, no, I actually don't want that to start by default. So like they could do that at their level too.
And there was a period of time when they actually would call out bad behaving third-party software. right? So
Really?
yeah, so like in the, I want to say Vista or maybe Windows 7 timeframe, if you had something that was still slowing down your boot process, because that was one of their big things, it would call up and be like, hey man, this thing that is registered to NVIDIA, making just arbitrary choice here, is making your machine take a long time to boot. Do you want to turn it off? And you could choose to turn it off. But that also applied pressure to the third-party partners. So if they had a thing that comes up and says, hey, man, well, you have 6 gigs of ASUS software running in the background. Are you sure you want this? Then that's going to apply pressure on ASUS to fix their problem.
Good call. That's a good point. Yeah.
I'm not picking on anybody in particular here. I'm saying ASUS.
I mean, any vendor like this Dell comes preloaded with a bunch of Dell, software. The Acer, I was testing out a different Acer laptop, and man, the amount of bloatware pre-installed on that one was real bad.
Well, this is why when I get a laptop, even if I'm going to put Windows on it, I usually wipe it and I do the reinstall, and then I go to their site and pull just the drivers down and just install the drivers and don't install the Dell AI Buddy or the Acer Extreme Brain Companion or whatever they call it. I don't know.
I want that application. Names. I need an Extreme Brain.
Extreme Brain?
Yeah.
So how are you, we've talked about a lot of stuff here. How are you feeling about it?
Well, real quick, there was another, because I do want to wrap it up with that. There was another Windows Insider blog that hit May 15th. That one, they talked about taskbar placement. I was going to ask you, do you even mess with the placement? Like, are you a bottom guy, or are you a left?
Until Windows 11, I was a left side.
Really?
Left side icons, because it's like the least space you can have.
Okay.
The one thing that I wish that they would do is they didn't let you choose whether it was the start button was on the bottom or the top. Because I wanted the start button to be in the lower left corner, because that's the fast place you can get to with your mouse.
Oh, got it.
But it always had to be in the top. But that, the sacrifice there, especially on days when I was on an old ultra wide monitor or on even a 4K monitor, I don't want to give that whole bottom space in my monitor. It's a lot of pixels. Yeah. So putting it on the left side made sense. Having it hide, I would have it duck under when it was not being used, and that meant I had basically a full screen display. And then they took that out with Windows 11, and I became a bottom bar person again. Yeah. And whatever,
you became a center bar person too.
I like the center.
Anyway, one of the things I hated they took away from Windows 10 was the smaller option.
Yeah,
you could also be like, you know what? I wanted a smaller taskbar. That is coming back, and I was like, oh, thank goodness.
But
because by default, I feel like that taskbar takes up way too much space.
The hubris of saying, hey, you can't put you can't do a thing you've done for 30 years with taskbar placement is incredible to me.
I mean, most people run defaults.
I don't care.
So, I think that's probably was their thinking, was let's just keep it simple.
If you're writing a piece of software that 1,000 people use and 99% of people are doing one thing, then that means that you're talking about 10 people, right? That are not doing that are doing the weird thing. Yeah. When you have a piece of software that 2 billion people use, if 99% of people run that, then 2 billion is millions of people. 1% of 2 billion is millions of people. Yeah. It's you can't. The scale, when you get to that kind of scale, the decisions get really hard, and cutting people off because most people do it is bad juice.
Yeah. The other thing they talked about was the start menu, so you can do different toggles and stuff. I'll leave a link to the blog if you want to go look at it. The other thing was the size, because the thing that bugs me about the Windows start menu right now is that regardless of how you configure it and what you show, it's always the same size.
That's a big chunky boy.
I know. I liked Windows 10 because if you didn't pin anything to that second column,
it was skinny.
It just would. Yeah, it would just show the list.
Half width.
Yeah. It's not like all that would be wasted space.
Can you drag the edge of that or no?
No, you can't. Yeah.
Oh,
so
that's annoying.
in future updates, they're saying you're going to be able to change the size. I think it's a toggle thing. I don't think it's a drag kind of thing. But I was like, okay, well, great. Yeah, so whatever. There's more details in there if you want to go into it.
But that's also not the problem with this. Problem with the start menu for me is that when you press the start button on your keyboard and then you type something, a third of the time it seems to search Bing on the web,
which they did not address.
They haven't addressed that because, look, I got bad news about your Bing numbers when you fix that.
Especially when right now you go to that search bar and it says search for apps, settings, and documents.
That doesn't say anything about the internet.
Web. Yeah. So oh, you know what? It actually didn't show anything.
But it still has the number 2 option is a bunch of Bing results.
Yeah. Search the web before even showing folders or documents.
Yeah, it's crap. And I still don't think you can organize these so that on Windows 10 you could say, hey, don't search the web. It was just a setting in the start menu settings.
Trying to search settings.
Not an option
Let me
anymore.
See. search my accounts, search highlights, search history,
Work or school account. See,
search the contents of online files. Oh, like if you're
that's
connected to
OneDrive.
Yeah, OneDrive. Yeah, so
Yeah, it's crap.
Yeah, that's really so. They did not mention anything about that, and yeah,
That's an easy fix. I can tell them how to change that right now. There's a registry key, you flip
right.
it, and it's just problem solved.
That's easy and quick.
Yeah, that's in that top
in that
the
zone,
good
so-
quarter, that good quadrant. Yeah,
Like, or at least give people the toggle. You know what? Like,
give them the choice. You can make it default to the bad thing, but let them
Yeah.
turn it off because it sucks.
yeah.
Anyway.
So, anyway, to your other question,
Yeah.
Then
How
about
is it?
How is it? That's the other problem. Is it's only for Windows insiders right now, and like it depends on where you're at in the branch. Some of these are, I don't know. There's different ways of
Like my
Windows
desktop's still on
Insider.
25H2 or something. It's on an old version of Windows at this point.
Yeah, I guess I can look up WinVer on this just to see where I'm at. But this is 25H2
Yeah.
26200.8457. So like I don't know where that is in the chain, but that's the other problem is that like I don't want to get into the insider program to be able to see these things because that's just not what I like. I need this to work, and so I have no idea. They have not signaled when these things will come to the main release.
Yeah, it'll
This
just
is all
trickle out
insider
over. Like
stuff.
this is how it like it's the staggered release, and like you may not get it for 6 months because there's some weird piece of hardware in your computer that it doesn't have a driver for or something.
Well, and I'll say that's the more annoying thing because the one thing that did get released to the general public that we've talked about on Full Nerd, but was the Xbox mode.
Yeah.
So any Windows computer now theoretically should be able to have you launch the Xbox app, and there would be a little. I mean, you can do this from settings too.
The
but
full screen dealy.
there should be a little button that says, "Oh, hey, launch Xbox mode."
And it takes a really long time for this to launch.
Especially when the update for that game. So I am in the insider program for Xbox, but that's because of the ROG Ally stuff.
Yeah.
But like, I have tried to update multiple laptops that I've had to get Xbox mode, and I've only seen it show up on one device, and it's my home editing machine that I don't game on anyway. And I was like, I do hate that. I mean, I get it. Like
Like
they
you should be able
stagger
to go
rollout.
but you should be able to go into the store and opt into like the beta version or something like that. There has
Well,
to be
no,
an easier
I'm
way
in
to
the
do
beta.
this.
Like I'm already inside because I'm not an insider on the Windows side.
Yeah.
I'm an insider on the Xbox side, and even then, I'm still not getting that button. And like I understand why they're staggering rollouts, but this is another thing that I was going to ask. Like I don't think in Linux, I mean, especially you're rolling. So the minute an update hits,
You see me rolling.
anybody can grab it.
Yeah.
Right. Like on Windows, I'm like, oh, I want that update. Give it to
bad.
me. It should be public.
No,
but they got to
put your hand
stagger the
out.
rollout.
Put your hand out.
Ah.
No update for you. Yeah, it's
so,
it's
I don't know.
like you're living in the nanny state over here, man. Like compile your kernel, bro.
So
Get your modules loaded in there. Get you've tasted the forbidden fruit now. You know how good it is outside that garden. You know?
I mean, I want Windows to be better. I do.
I do too.
Yeah.
I would love that. I'm not going to wait for it.
Yeah, that's the other problem is that number one, they're only messaging this on the insider stuff. I get it because it's only coming to the insider stuff.
Well,
but
also those are the people who are complaining.
true, yeah. But I mean, they should be messaging this other places too, right? That's number one. Number two,
Maybe they're putting ads on podcasts.
I don't. Hey
Hey guys,
yeah. Please,
let me tell you how good Windows
Yeah.
is now. We've taken the Copilot button in Notepad and we've renamed it Writing Tools.
only for insiders.
Only for insiders.
Yeah, actually, you know what? I should launch Notepad. Do I get the?
This is another like. Do you have Writing Tools?
This is the writing
You have
tool.
writing
Okay,
tools.
yeah. So they have up. I am on the update for that one. So
But
great.
like them not giving you an easy way to opt into newer versions of what they call it, like the platform experience or something. Like there's an experience package thing. There's like the main OS kernel, and then there's the stuff around that, and they update those separately now. Like them not giving you the option of opting into that is weird at this point.
Yeah, I don't know. It's so I think it's great. They're messaging it. They are doing work. I mean, they're putting it out in the insider stuff.
Yeah.
But is that affecting me now? No. Will it affect me in the next 3, 6, 9, 12 months? I have no idea. And so yeah, like that.
Do you feel optimistic about that?
I mean, I hope they continue this momentum of.
There's momentum. I mean, they've
Yes.
shown intent.
Yeah, I mean, listen. When what was it 6 months ago when the CEO Nadella was getting on the
Yeah.
podcast and being like, "Oh, hey, by the way, agentic AI is just going to use your the future of Windows is just going to be an
is just going to be
agentic
a bunch of
AI.
agents that do your stuff for you.
So okay, so maybe it's not momentum. Maybe it's they've pumped the brakes on certain things. And they're like, whoa, we need to rethink this. So, but that's good.
Yeah.
I'll take that. But will it actually run into anything? I don't know. And that's why I kind of wanted to, I want to look at this every once in a while.
It's good to dip your
kind of
toes
check
in.
and be like, okay, where are they at? Oh, they still haven't done anything. Okay, cool, great. I just want to keep checking in every couple months or so.
It's good to do it. I don't do a lot of work in Windows anymore. Mostly, I have a couple of game streams that I do that I do Windows just because I don't like when somebody's paying me for my time to come on and help them. I don't want them to be stuck dealing with my nonsense.
Wow, Windows is more stable, is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying that the capture, if I'm playing games, for example, if we want to do a marathon stream, real hard for me to do that in Linux, right?
Whoops.
Sometimes we change games midstream, whatever. Anyway, the point is that's about the extent of my Windows time at this point. And occasionally I have to help my daughter with something on her computer, or I have to go do something else.
She's not on Chrome OS?
No,
school stuff?
she has a desktop. Well, yeah, she has a laptop that's just a normal Windows laptop.
Oh.
I think I put a Windows 11 on that. I can't remember. It's like a 12th gen Intel or something.
Okay.
My old laptop. And then she has a desktop that she plays games on. That's a normal Windows 11 computer. But she came in the other day and she saw my 6 space backgrounds on the desktop. She's like, "Hey, what's going on here? This doesn't look like my computer." I was like,
said, "Honey,
let me spread the good word about Linux."
No, let me tell you about Neri.
Yeah, it's time for you.
I think it's time we had to talk about
time
Neri.
for you. Hop up on the lap here. We're going to talk about tiling window managers and how incredibly productive they're going to make you.
Oh, I feel so bad for her.
And she was like, "Oh, can I run? I heard this podcast I listened to. I heard somebody talking about Selene UI." And she was like, "Oh, the Selena Gomez Linux." I was like, "No, that's different. No, not that. You don't want that one. That one's not great. But you do. Tiling window manager is pretty good. Turns out, pretty good."
Don't have that talk with
Think
your
of how
daughter.
how much more work you could get done if you had a tiling window manager on that, on top of replacing all that Windows garbage.
Yeah. Well, okay. So I think we should go into homework.
Should we bust an ad?
Let's bust an ad, and we'll be right back. And we're back with homework and
Thanks,
the
Microsoft.
outro, all that stuff. Yeah, whatever that ad was, who knows? Let us know. So here's the thing where I'm at is that
I think you should put Selene UI on that laptop. That's I think it's your homework right here.
I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to do 0 homework because we already recorded next week's episode. That's
true.
in the can.
Yeah.
I'm going to be going to Computex,
Yeah.
and for the next 2 weeks, I ain't messing with this laptop. There's going to be no Linux on this laptop, and then
put Linux on there right now.
when I come back, then I'll be doing some.
I'll let you
some
borrow
stuff,
my Zune
but-
if you put Linux on that laptop before you go.
Okay. Yeah. Now I'm in.
Back in?
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude, walking around the streets of Taipei with a Zune, man.
That'd be pretty sick.
Yeah. They'd be like,
If somebody murks you for the Zune,
dude,
I'm
Taiwan is so safe.
I'm gonna hit your wife and be like, "Hey, you got to reimburse me for the
You
Zune
gotta
that
reimburse.
Adam got knifed for."
No.
Taiwan's very chill.
So
Yeah,
safe.
no, I know.
So no homework for me. What do
Wow.
you got?
I mean, I guess I'm on strike too.
Actually,
no.
Hold on. There is a little bit of homework,
Yeah.
but it ties into what we talk about for next week's episode.
Okay.
We talked a little bit about Zorin OS, and
Oh!
I am curious about Zorin OS. So, but you'll have
Zorin
to check
OS.
next week's episode for Zorin OS talk.
Okay.
We do it at the top of the episode, so don't worry.
I'm probably gonna do nothing like
More
teaser.
distro hopping.
past, future, flashback, foreshadowing.
Yeah.
I'm going to. I'm thinking I'm going to. My home server situation is tenuous and makes me a little anxious because I haven't worked out what's up with the file system on that.
Oh,
on the
yeah, 'cause
SSD on that.
it was getting-
It's showing way more space taken on the drive than actually is used on the drive. And I've tried the stuff that you do to fix that, and I'm at the point now where I have to take that server offline, boot off of a boot drive, and run FSCK from outside the file system. And I'm worried that that's not going to go great. like there's some potential downside there.
Good luck.
So I'm going to back some stuff up. I have another one of those small boxes. It's comparable. It's a little bit slower that I'm going to set up so I can maybe do some test runs of other things. Because at the same time I'm doing this, I also need to update the version of Debian is an LTS that just went out of support. So I'm not getting security updates for it anymore.
Wow. Okay.
So I need to do that. I need to migrate that machine to
the long-term support has ended.
I mean, it's been 4 years. I got my time out of it. It's fine, but that's probably my homework for the next couple weeks. So I'm going to experiment with some other stuff there.
Yeah. Okay. Also, you're switching laptops.
I am switching laptops. I'm switching to this HP
The Strix
G1A,
Halo.
the Strix Halo
HP ZBook G1A.
Yeah, and I'm trying to decide now if I'm just gonna start, like, it's set up and working, everything's more or less right. I haven't done my like Neri config files and stuff over yet.
Well, you don't sync those with GitHub?
I do, but I didn't think I was going to use this laptop like this, and then I've decided to switch over. So like,
oh yeah, because you were using this for
this was
OpenClaw.
just for the OpenClaw testing,
Yeah, okay.
and I'm trying to decide if I want to wipe it before I start doing real work in earnest to get the OpenClaw cruft out. But I think it's probably okay.
Even if you wipe it, are you going to continue to do OpenClaw on her?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I know now.
Yeah, that's what this laptop's
now I
for,
know
so.
more about what I messed up on the first go round with the OpenClaw stuff, and I think it's worth maybe taking a second stab at.
Okay.
But TBD. I mean, that takes time that I probably don't have. So realistically, I'm probably going to make it work. The other thing I want to do is I'm deciding if I want to do the thing where I export all the packages I've installed for that old machine and then use that to basically make this machine the same state and then copy the home folder over. And I don't know if I'm going to bother, honestly.
Now that I'm thinking, do you really want to use the machine that you also have running OpenClaw?
It's probably fine.
I mean, but like if you're taking this to a work meeting or something, or
I'll just not run that in the background while I'm at the work
okay.
meeting. Yeah. Huh. It means that my agents will go to sleep.
Oh, sleepy time.
know. Or
It's time to go to sleep, Mr.
as has
Agent.
been the case every time
Agent
I've done it
Smith.
so far, when I reboot the computer, it'll just completely wipe the configuration. I have to start over.
There you go.
again.
Boom. Solved.
It's not a great piece of software. So I'm also going to look at other claw situations, like similar. There's other agentic buckets that are maybe better.
I think Google announced something at Google I/O yesterday.
That's running in the cloud, which I'm not interested
Oh,
in.
you're right.
Yeah,
Not local.
I want stuff
Okay.
running local.
Yeah. Okay.
So the other part of the OpenClaw thing that was really fun though is I got LM Studio running on my desktop, which has the 5090 in it, and I was able to run. I was able to call stuff from this machine to that machine and run models on the desktop from the laptop, which was kind of cool.
I mean, Strix Halo is powerful, but that
the
5090
more
also
so.
very powerful.
But it turns out the RAM is maybe more important than the GPU performance.
interesting.
Weirdly,
Okay.
Anyway,
Also, I think you should try some games on this.
I have. I did.
Oh, you have?
I played Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Oh, okay. Well, you should play some games on this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I mean, it's
a nice machine.
I
for
don't
games,
think you've played games on Strix Halo, have you?
I've played. Let's see what I have installed. I have
Like actually played though. I mean,
installed locally.
do you even play games, bro?
I've played Shadow of the Tomb Raider
Yeah, okay.
for about 45
You should play some
minutes.
games.
I'll play some games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's impressive.
I need to. I want to play some Forza. I don't know if that actually works on Linux. The Forza 6
Nope.
that just came out does not.
Nope.
Boo.
Anti-cheat.
Boo. I want to play more Subnautica, which does work on Linux. I've used that on my desktop PC.
Woo.
Subnautica 2. It crashes on Windows, but not on Linux. So that was we'll talk about that
Win.
in the future.
Okay.
And maybe I'll play some. That Battlestar Galactica Tactics game came out last week, and
Wait, what kind of tactics? 4X?
it's like a I don't know. You do stuff in space. You're betrayed by the Cylons. I don't know. You have to manage. It's like you manage the shipboard stuff, and then you have to do some fighting stuff. It's like I actually don't know what it's like XCOM and a 4X game kind of together.
I mean, XCOM, you got me.
Yeah, no,
I'll check it out. All right.
Seems good.
And
And you're going to go to Taiwan and have some delicious food and talk about computer stuff. What do you? I guess the thing I would ask for people is like, what kind of questions do folks in the audience have? Because you're going to like this is the place where you go to talk to motherboard vendors and the people who like work out of Taiwan and China, mainland China. to build a lot of gear. And like, if people have questions about Linux support and what Linux strategies are and stuff like that, this is a good opportunity for you to ask them.
Yeah, and I don't. Excuse me. I did talk to people at CES, and some of it I talked about here, but like so a lot of the meetings I went to, even at CES, I did talk about like, hey, Linux strategy. Like the big one was AMD when I had that interview with the AMD executive about.
With Andrej?
Andrej, yeah. So, and I talked about Linux on there. So I want to do more of it, but yeah, this is I mean, all the major manufacturers are going to be there. All the major, Intel, AMD, NVIDIA. What kind of questions? Like, if you could get in front of these people and talk to them about Linux, I mean, maybe I could do like a big interview video over on PCWorld of like, hey, I talked to all the motherboard manufacturers of their Linux strategy or their Linux support, or
like,
are they paying attention to Linux?
Like, there's stuff.
Maybe that's the question. Hey, do you care about Linux?
Is it more important now than it was this time last year? Right?
Maybe that's the title. Is
do you care about Linux?
Yeah, motherboard manufacturers don't care about Linux.
Well, so I'm looking at things like hardware that has support that only exists in Windows. So like AIOs that report liquid temperature, but only to a Windows application and stuff like that. Like, it would be amazing if ASUS and Arcticool and all the places that are releasing Windows software. I mean, I guess Arcticool doesn't have Windows software, but the ones that are like NZXT has Windows software. They also have a robust open source driver for their AIOs, and you can get access to them whether you use Fan Control or their NZXT Core or whatever that thing's called. I would be curious if other places are starting to pay more attention to that stuff. Like Elgato, why is there no? Why are?
I should try to get an interview over there.
Yeah,
I do have a Corsair appointment, but yeah.
Like, I'm curious why, for example, the USB capture cards work great in Linux, but the Camlink does not, right? All of that kind of stuff. Like we're reaching. It feels like we're reaching an inflection point, especially among enthusiasts, where this is more of a mainstream choice than it's ever been before. Mm-hmm. And I mean, mainstream's not the right word, but it's a more common choice. And we have 20 years of them treating it like it's for fringe weirdos, like Linux is for fringe weirdos. And I got bad news for them about how that's going.
Yeah.
The writing is on the wall.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Let me know in the comments, or if you want to get over to Discord, there's a link down in the description. We have a Full Nerd Network Discord.
Don't put that in the questions thing, though.
What? Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, you can.
You can? I guess that's still a question.
Yeah, I mean, it's a question.
Okay.
Yeah, if it's a question that you think I could be asking companies. There is a question channel, DBD-questions, but there's also a Linux channel in there.
Yeah.
Get in there. We got an awesome Linux community over there, so join us. And then, check back next week for episode 39, which we already shot. It's a Q&A episode.
It's a good one. It's a banger.
So if you have a question, you can go over. It's too late for that episode,
but we'll do another one in the future,
maybe. And then get down in the Discord. There's that DBD-questions.
Yeah, you can put anything you want there. It doesn't even have to be a question anymore. No rules.
No. Definitely a question. It should still be a question.
If you have a comment or a social statement, probably there too.
Don't put it there. Do not put it there.
If you like Adam's hair, if you think it should be higher or lower, let us know.
Yeah, not there. Anyway, check out the Full Nerd for level-headed talk about PC building news. Check out Expedition Handheld, where Russ from Retro Game Core and I talk about handhelds, both old and new. And spoiler, we're definitely going to be in person at Computex together recording an episode. So if we see anything handheld related, we're going to talk about it there.
Can I come on and talk about the Zune?
That is a handheld.
It is handheld.
Did they have games on there?
You could play Hexic on it, I think.
Then that counts.
I don't think I have Hexic installed.
No, you should have Hexic. You can connect to the Wi-Fi.
I'm not. No, thank you.
Yeah. Also, Brad and Will made a TechPod.
Yeah, techpod.content.town. We do a podcast every Sunday that's about kind of single topic deep dives into things. We've also been doing more projects. We do a monthly news recap of like the interesting weird stories that we think get missed in other kind of technology podcast types. It's not... The weird thing about the technology podcast category these days, we've talked about this, but there's a lot of like startup and entrepreneur stuff in there that kind of dominates the charts because people like to make money and they want to know what startup and entrepreneur type
AI.
Yeah. There's also like we're in the hey, we're nerds and we want to talk about computer stuff side of that. We don't really talk about the other stuff at all. So if you want that, then you should check it out. It's techpod.content.town.
Also, spoiler: Brad Shoemaker will make an appearance.
That's what I've been told.
In a future episode.
He's
coming up.
He's a Linux guy from way back.
Actually, if you have questions for Brad Shoemaker, definitely
It's
get
not
them
too
in
late
now.
for those,
It's
yeah.
not too late
Now's
for
the
those.
time.
He's definitely coming on soon. Let us know. Anything else to pimp? Nope. I think we're good. Other than that, yeah. Thanks. Hey,
Thanks, Adam.
Thanks for watching. Hey, Will. Thanks, man.
It's good to see you.
I'm still jealous of those headphones.
They're dope.
Somebody had mentioned in the full nerd comments that there's a brand that makes wireless versions of those too. Then I was like,
what's the point?
What's the point?
No, the wire is the whole
Wire,
thing.
Yeah, the kids love the wire.
Kids love the wire.
Great
Season
show.
3 is the best.
Really?
No.
Okay, I was about to say. I was like, no. Anyway, thanks everybody. Bye.